oh, you're a right-wing believer, so you're a right-wing grifting Nazi. People say this, and it's watered down the term. So now we're at the point when there's a actual Nazi that it's not taken, in my opinion, as seriously as it should. All truth in it. They literally admit it. Not a joke. So today, chat, we need to have a bit of a serious discussion. Now that we've got through all these debuts and stuff, we talked about some YouTube issues, things like that. But now, chat, I want to get serious here for a second because I want to talk about a controversy going around a recent VTuber group that I've seen a lot of stirring of discussion. However, I really haven't seen a lot of VTuber news outlets talk about it yet, or I have not seen a lot of bigger VTubers discuss it. So, everybody, buckle your seatbelts because I want to talk about this particular VTuber group that just debuted, or at least came together, chat. There's a lot to unpack. It's obviously what we're going to be discussing is very important. It's very heavy, so we need to discuss it. So, I'm going to give you all the evidence first, chat. I'm going to show you everything, and then I'm going to tell you some of my thoughts about it, okay? And why this is so important to discuss. So, we're going to be skipping down to talk about this new VTuber group that has been out and about. And you can see, of course, their name right here. And saying they have assembled with these 5 members here, made up of Akimi, Shiro, Kitsura, Wendigogo, and Meiku. This is a VTuber group at Corpo, comprised of 5 base anime girl VTubers, aren't afraid to speak their mind and go against what is deemed politically correct. So, number one, chat, I'm gonna say this right now. I know a lot of people are not comfortable with the R word. I'm not comfortable with R word. I don't like that. Some people use it freely. I don't like it. I think people use it as a slur. People use it as a way to insult people. It clearly has a negative connotation to it. I don't like this, right, chat? Now, I was really hesitant to discuss this to begin with, chat. Number one, because this, as I'm going to show you, there are individuals in this group that are doing things to be controversial, right? It's rage bait. Now, what I want to point out here, chat, is I have not really been able to see a lot of issues with 3 of these members. I did, so that is Shirwan, Nines, and Wendigogo. I went through their pages. Some of the stuff they have said is controversial, right? However, I don't think it is to the level of the things that we are going to be discussing in 2 of these other members. So I want to make that clear because I know that we're going to talk about guilt by association here. And we literally just talked about guilt by association on Friday. But however, this is a very different situation that I want to discuss with you. So, like, it's one thing to have guilt by association to something that is controversial, right, chat? It's another thing to have guilt by association when it's a literal Nazi. And chat, I hate to say that somebody is actually a Nazi. This person is literally, no fucking joke, an actual Nazi. Part of the problem when discussing these types of things is, unfortunately, the terminology of the word Nazi, right, is very watered down. A lot of people use that as an insult. A lot of people use it as like, oh, you're a right-wing believer, so you're a right-wing grifting Nazi. People say this all the time, you know what I mean? Like, it's watered down the term. So now we're at the point when there's a actual Nazi that it's not taken, in my opinion, as seriously as it should. So I know this is a group. I do want to point out these 3 in the middle. I haven't really seen anything that is like crazy bad from these 3 in the middle. But obviously being associated with somebody that is a literal Nazi, and on top of that, in my opinion, using a slur is not okay. I want to make that clear very early on. Does that make sense, chat? Are we all on the same page about that? Do we agree on that? Because I think it's really important, right? Because I'm only going to be talking about 2 of these members. I've seen stuff on the other 3, not so much. But if you have proof of that, you have something that they've done, feel free to drop in the Discord. But I do want to make it clear, we're only going to be talking about this and this member today. These 3, I'm not really going to be discussing, other than the fact that they literally are associated with a Nazi. So obviously that is a very, very, very bad look. And that is something that you probably want to consider. You should be considering distancing yourself from. Maybe they didn't know when they associate with a group. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, chat. I'm only here to tell you what I see and report on it. So I was very hesitant to discuss this whole thing in the first place, right? And I do want to remind all of you, again, look at that pinned message, guys. I'm going to play the PSA again. As a big reminder, do not go harass anybody.
Before we dive into today's story, this is a public PSA. Do not harass anyone. Do not be mean. We are here to discuss today's story in a very positive and informational way.
Don't do it. Don't be that person. Just block and move on, chat. So, in my opinion, actually it's not an opinion. These people are clearly rage baiting, chat. They're clearly being edgy to be edgy, right? And I didn't really want to cover it because I don't want to give them any clout. I really did not. But now that we have crossed the point where one of these people is literally okay with sharing that they are outwardly a Nazi, I believe it is not okay to sit idly by and watch somebody who is blatantly doing this share their rhetoric so freely with everybody else, especially in the VTuber community. I think that is wrong, and I think that this is at a point where it needs to be spoken about, right? So, anyway, this is where everything started, chat. This is where the group kind of assembled. Everybody, of course, on Twitter is very upset by this. Everybody, of course, calling it out. I mean, let's go look at some of the stuff here. I'm autistic. Really care less about name of you tolerate these type of people to the point you'll join them in a group. I highly doubt you're a good person yourself, even if you claim these views are different. And we're going to look at some of the proof behind this. This is disgusting. This word is very much derogatory. I agree. Term based to describe intellectually disabled individuals. It's called a slur for a reason. This is what happens when you don't gatekeep the hobby well enough. You know, we're not afraid to be edgy and base this by all the people trying to cancel us. I bet no one knows who any of you are. So, obviously, guys, very much a lot of people are very much against this, calling this out. Obviously, there are some people that are supporting it. Yeah, it's not good. So, I'm going to show you a lot of proof going on. We blacklist, as you can see. I'm not here to go through all these comments. I wanted to kind of show you a lot of people are against it. Obviously, the retweets are as well. And this is not something that I feel like should be supported in any way, shape, or form. So, there was some information about how this name came about. And I think it was more of a joke, that they didn't really understand the importance of the name of it. Nines went on to say, sharing the blueprints to our evil grifter mastermind scheme, very calculated until it didn't happen on a random whim one day. But they were talking about, Akimi's like, I'm going to make a group. It's going to be full of base VTubers that are cool and not weird. You're getting nothing out of joining some collabs and should have the coordinate picked up for your display. No size requirements, etc. Right? They go on to say like this, call it B-Risk or this, and let me in. Obviously, it was just kind of like meant to be a joke between them, but they were not thinking about the implication of using that name and that slur, right? So now we're going to go talk about, chat. We're going to go talk about this member named Meiku. And guys, this is where we just completely go into a new direction. This person, literally in their words, chat. Fair enough. The only thing I don't support with the Nazis is on killing people. Everything else, I basically fully support. Not a joke. You can't make this up, chat. You literally cannot make this up. They literally are unapologetically okay with this rhetoric and sharing it around. Now, I thought maybe this was rage bait, right? Maybe this was something to put gasoline into the fire, right? But which I will show you, that's what they're all about. But there is a clip I'm going to show you guys where, unfortunately, everything is proven to be actually real to me. So let's go take a look, guys. Unfortunately, this clip is very messed up. So there's only one part that I really want to show you within the clip right here as we go through it. I think I'll probably get banned for it. But as you can see here, this is a toggle on their model, chat. Yeah, chat, there you go. So let's continue. I'm also going to show you why I believe using that word that they use as their name, right? This right here. they're using it in a derogatory manner, right? Obviously, this person here, they quote retweeted, and that post is gone, but they said, okay, our word, right? So they're clearly using it in a derogatory manner. They're okay with that. They're talking about First Amendment protection of speech. I don't know what this tweet was, but I will definitely say that they are not protected because a lot of the stuff that they say that I'm going to show you is hate speech. So let's continue. Of course, this person was permabanned off of Twitch. It says in public and private chat messages. And of course, they're permanently suspended because of their stuff saying, of course, like, Twitch is gay. Well, probably because my account was suspended. I just don't even stream there. I'm too dangerous just for chatting. And you'd probably be reported for off-site behavior, right? So they are permanently suspended. They do stream on Rumble. And I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute. So guys, just a bit of a warning. We're going to continue here and talk about some stuff, of course. Akimi saying this. I don't know if they are of African-American able to use this word. That's kind of up in the rafters on that one. But I will show you some other things they said that was pretty messed up. Of course, there is this right here. Pride Month is over. This is hate speech, chat. This is literal hate speech. There's no argument against that. That's literal hate speech. Liger goes on to say, you know, if the big names in the English scene started speaking up about this, we'd be able to kick out these people, the Nazis, but because everybody wants to be non-political hugbug, the Nazis are taking over the scene. And of course, Bella going on to say, nice team you got there, like in a group up for us so we can just blacklist them in one fell swoop. And obviously you can see that there's some very horrible things said here in these screenshots. I showed you this one, but I mean, this is just absolutely just disgustingly gross. Same here as well. I mean, this is just horrible, horrible things, chat. This is hate. This is vitriol and hate and not something that should be allowed on any platform, chat. Not okay. Not okay at all. Let's continue here because I want to show you some of the other screenshots that go along with this one as well. So I think I've at least established for you that this particular person is not a good person at all. Spewing hate, horrible things. On top of that, literally unapologetically, no fucking joke, a Nazi. But the reason that they are doing this, chat, the reason that they are doing this is, unfortunately, it's rage bait. It's hate. It's being edgy to be edgy. And unfortunately, chat, it's working for them. And that is why I want to talk about this today. That is why this is a problem. They're going on to brag about their earnings for the month here. You know, they got this money and views. They're also talking about other people that showed up to their streams after they shared all this information, right? Thank you guys for that support. We had over 350 viewers. Chat, please listen to me. Throwing through controversy like this is not the way to go. And it's not okay. Because you might see it as a positive, but it's always short-lived. And it never results in actually any type of growth. But these people are rage baiting you, chat. They are rage baiting you. They are doing this on purpose for controversy to stir it up, to get you to buy into it, to talk about it, they get more attention, etc., etc. And I hate the fact today that I am having to talk about it. You know what I mean? I hate that so much. But, chat, but at the end of the day, this has gotten to be such a big deal. I want to talk about it with you all so that way you can spread the word and you can do what is best here, which is obviously to block, ignore them, and leave them alone in their own corner, right, chat? Obviously not to harass them, you know, report and move on, right? Because there's some things they're saying here that is not okay, right? This is literally just edgy to be edgy. It's hate to be hate. And it is already stirring things up. And they're profiting from it. They're getting views by doing this stuff, right? This ideology. I can't believe I have to say this, guys, but the ideology of this stuff, it's harmful. Being a Nazi, obviously, like they're saying they don't wish on killing people, but they believe in everything else. That is harmful to other people. That ideology, spreading the rhetoric is dangerous, chat. allowing people to believe that that behavior is okay is unacceptable. Allowing people to believe that behavior is okay is only supporting belief that other people are safe to practice that themselves. And that is not okay. And I will draw the line there, guys. And I will speak out about these things. This is not okay, chat, in any way, shape, or form. I want you to treat this report today as a PSA. I really hate giving them attention, and they're probably going to react to this video. And you know what? I can't stop them, but at the end of the day, I think I've shown a good proof of things that they have said that are horrible. And I've also shown other things as well, where showing proof that they're only doing this for views and money and things like that as well. Sometimes, guys, the best bleach is sunlight. And that's where we're at.
Hey everybody, just a quick reminder, if you've been enjoying this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me a ton. Okay, back to the video.
I do also want to talk about, I know I talked about Meiku. I do also want to talk about Akimi here just for a moment. Akimi had this back and forth with a advanced GG rep named Vicky. I'm not going to get into this situation, to be honest. It's kind of its own separate thing. But what I want to show you is the messages that Vicky posted that outed Akimi. So let's go take a look at these messages, chat. I would never date somebody with this colored skin. I only want to see brown when I flush the toilet. Rice is clearly Indian. I'm glad this person makes up for his street shitting behaviors. I'm going to break up with him. You're going to break up before rallying mini. I'm kidding, but please don't make people think I'm dating. I would legitimately rather unalive than date somebody that isn't white. I want to see her destroyed, or maybe it gets her attention publicly. I hope she unalives herself. Now, Rob, I told you, I wanted to focus on these two because these are the two people that I've seen the stuff before, and I had Akimi blocked before I even reported on this, and I was like, why did I have Akimi blocked? I literally could not remember, and it was because of this. It's hate, it's vitriol, it's racism, it's literal Nazi chat. And I'm not saying that like, you know, people like, oh, you're right-wing grifter Nazi. Like, no, they're actually a Nazi chat. We say this with all truth in it. They literally admit it. You can see it in their practices. You see in the words they say. They are using this kind of stuff to bait people. It is rage bait. It's being edgy to be edgy. Cause controversy. Stir up everybody and get attention and money from it. And I really, really hope by discussing this today, chat, you will not buy into it. Because unfortunately, as you can see here, chat, it is happening. Yeah, somebody said kids who got called out or got attacked by them, right? And like, there's nothing you can say about this situation to defend yourself. You are a horrible person doing horrible things, spouting horrible stuff to other people. There's no free speech. There's no, oh yeah, you know, we're making a group where it's okay to be go against what's deemed politically correct. This is hate speech. Period. There's no defending anything that they've said, chat. But unfortunately, people are showing up. People are watching their things, right? So now we come to one of the members, Nines, who says a lot of people are scared of being canceled and pressured or bullied into staying silent or to continue to agree with it, or the last voice is correct. I just realized they're following me. What? Okay. Continue to agree with whatever the last voice is correct. Like, Nines, if you were watching this or the other three members, because I didn't find any stuff on you, I really hope you will reconsider looking at one of the members of the group, the things that they believe in. If you truly and honestly want to support a group member that believes in that kind of stuff, that's not controversy. That is hate and vitriol. That is a little person that believes in a dangerous rhetoric. That's not just controversy where you disagree on an opinion. An opinion and being like an opinion where you disagree with somebody and being a Nazi are completely separate situations. Continuing here, whatever the last voice they say is crap and people are exhausted, real fatigue setting in, the more we speak up, the closer we get to a place where different opinions can actually exist without people being shunned by specific groups who love to push ideology and everybody else. And I think that there is a certain point to this where it's like, it's okay to share your different opinion, but there's a difference between an opinion and hate speech. And that's where we're at now, chat, with this particular member that we've looked at a lot. And same with the other one as well, Akimi and Meiku. So let's continue kind of looking here, guys. Unfortunately, one person that kind of spoke out about this, not saying that they're directly tied to why this happened, but they did make a post. And unfortunately, guys, Myra, who's a V artist, is getting death threats over the fact that I don't want shit like this in my community. Proves the point. And it's very unfortunate because there are people that think it is okay to support this type of things. Kitsune said that she spoke to Nines and told her about Meiku. Nines said that she is her own self and she has her own opinions. These endorse other things and they have their own opinion. And I think that's great, Demon. Don't get me wrong, but there's a difference between being in a group where you have different opinions and somebody that is literally spewing hate speech. You know, like, now the moral obligation becomes extremely different. Does that make sense? Yeah, before I continue, does that make sense? It's very important that we make that distinction, right? I don't really want to speak too much about those other three members, just because I didn't have anything really on them. It was mostly about these two, which I made clear when I started coverage, but thank you for letting me know. I do appreciate that. So I think right here, chat, is a decent summary here coming here from Nearlina. Nearlina says, okay, possibly unpopular opinion, but it's kind of boring how people are still surprised by right-wing VTubers finding success in this space. I mean, I'm not really going to speak about the right-wing VTuber part, but I am going to talk about this person being a little Nazi. Every time I do grift drops, we get outraged, shocked, or upset, but it's even not valid of a feeling to have anymore. Reason why people like Kirsten Rev has a big of an audience as they do, regardless of backlash, because right-wing VTuber fans actually go their way to support these variants. Now, look, I'm not going to comment here on Kirsten Rev, but I do think that my whole point in showing this tweet is to show you that, unfortunately, there are fans who will go out of their way to support this type of behavior. Are they right-wing? I can't say, right? But what I can say is there are people that support in hatred. It's not sustainable, but it shows results, right? As we saw from the screenshots, and I'll show you a screenshot here as well. You know, look at Rumble. Look at their viewership, chat. That is disappointing. That's horrible. As a community, as a group, looking at this behavior and go, this is horrible. And maybe this is botted, I don't know. But looking at the stuff and seeing that support on that is horrible. You know what I mean? So there are VTuber fans. I'm not going to comment on these parts, right, chat? But VTuber fans, I actually go out of their way to support fans. Unfortunately, there are VTuber fans that are supporting this type of stuff. And that's really sad. And you can see here from, again, they're talking about how this is a money screenshot. Maybe it's fake, but they're making money, chat. They had a peak viewership. I mean, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Why are we supporting this type of behavior? That's not okay. Those fans actually watch their content, tune into their stream, support them financially, and the reason to stay and do what they do, which is not okay, right? The space complaints there's not enough anti-bigot big VTubers while not doing anything past Twitter likes to actually help people as such grow. I think more than anything, chat, in a situation like this where this is blatantly somebody sharing hate speech and horrible ideology and rhetoric, this is the time I felt like that I had an obligation to use my platform to speak about this, because I think maybe Kitsu covered it. I've seen some VTubers covering, but I feel like I have an obligation as not a giant VTuber, right, but a larger-isk VTuber to discuss this and share this with all of you, because this is not okay. These are not people that should be in our community, that should be allowed to do this type of stuff, to have a toggle with the fucking Nazi salute. I mean, why is that okay? You know what I mean? Even if just like activism cannot end on Twitter, like we actually have to come together as a collective and support each other. Y'all actually want to see change in the culture, and I agree with that. This is the time right now, chat, to say something about it. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, I think talking about something on Twitter is literally the bare minimum of what you can do. I think Twitter does not in my opinion, really count for shit. Because people can spew whatever they want in there, people can say the most hateful stuff, and there's no consequences. When you go outside of that, right, there's a lot more to discuss around it. So I would say, if anything, just being on Twitter is the bare minimum of activism, right? As you can see here, around stuff like these people and other small grifters, we're going to continue to steal the spotlight away from people that might actually deserve it, right? While the rest of us continue to be demoralized and stuck, twiddling our thumbs. So again, a reminder, chat, I just want to tell you, these three in the middle, I didn't see anything on their timeline or any proof that I could find. If you want to send it my way, you totally can, but I didn't see anything necessarily about them. But I don't know if they know that this person is like full-blown Nazi. I did see retweets and stuff like that. They might believe that somebody is able to believe their own thing, but I think it's just like, bro, you got to wake up and like look at this stuff and be like, that's not okay. You know what I mean? And being cool with what Meiku and Akimi said is not okay. It's hate speech. It's not a difference of opinion anymore. It's hate speech. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they just got involved with it and they're like, oh shit, I have no idea. But the proof that I have is only about, of course, these two, which is Akimi and Meiku. So I want to make that very clear in my coverage today, guys. What are your thoughts about this, chat? And literally, it's rage bait and edgy to be edgy. That's all it is. People need to call this out. People need to talk about this. People need to bring it into the sunlight. This is not okay behavior. Again, and I asked you all specifically, I'm going to remind you, do not go and harass these people. The best thing you can do is dry them up. Block them, move on, let other people know. That is the best thing that you can do in this situation. Looks like the group, by this name here, is already seeming to fall apart, chat. Which is not a surprise, right? But Jiro says that I'm stepping away. Don't make assumptions so you know the full story, please. I believe that what started as a joke has gone too far. Open up some dangerous paths. If you want to follow me for my choice here, that's your right. I understand by doing this, I may receive harassment from viewers or other group members. Please do not harass others on my behalf. This was my decision, one that has been quite some time in the making. I thought that this person's views were ironic, but not real. And you remember we kind of were thinking that, kind of rumor mill that? It's exactly what I guess. It's becoming increasingly apparent that she generally believes in these things. Kimi's aggression is getting to a point I cannot support. I feel the need to make it clear that I don't hate them. I thought I could help her and be a voice of reason, but she won't listen. And it looks like they had some kind of disagreement, something. I'm not even going to get into that. But am I surprised by this? Not at all. Obviously, chat, the other members were not happy about this. Keep me going on to see your comments regarding me are rude and condescending. This is not the first time you've made a passive-aggressive and rude comment about my PPD. You think I'm not a decent person. I thought I could help her and be a voice of reason, but she won't listen. I've known them for months, but you never tried to actually get to know me or talk to me. You didn't try to help me. We barely ever spoke, especially one-on-one. Don't try to have some more high ground of pity for me. So, and again, they just kind of exchange some messages here, chat. I don't really feel like it's worth mentioning or even going through it. The only thing here was like, I do a really good job at trying to hide it being mean, but sometimes the inner demon comes out and Shira says, it would be mean to say you don't. So obviously a big disagreement. Am I surprised with this? Absolutely not. In any way, shape, or form. As I surmised, I think it was very much, they thought it was ironic or trying to like grow through, you know, making really edgy comments. But it seems like they actually believe in these hateful things. And so Shiro doing the right thing and stepping out of it. So anyway, guys, I want to let you know what was going on with that. There's the follow-up. So hopefully Shiro is able to step away and get out of that really bad situation. I mean, guys, look, if the name of your group is this, in my opinion, that's awful. That's a slur, chat. That's my opinion. I know some people just say it and they don't mean it in a mean way. And I know that culturally that's different for some people. But for me, that's not something that you would catch me dead, you know, saying. I would not say that.